Welcome to part 1 of this week's episode of the Functional Idiots podcast. Subsequent parts will succeed this one throughout the week, so make sure you give those a listen as well. I thought you were just about to say from a neo-Nazi, and I was like, don't. The sheriff department will put up, like, the days or the week's mugshots. Bet you're going through that and there's a fucking picture. Why are you so mad about vegetables?
Well, let me tell you, they just sit in a wheelchair all day doing nothing. Every time I hear that last bit, I die a little bit on the inside. But this is the Functional Idiots Podcast, episode 54. And I'm Dylan, I'm here with Colton.
I'm Dylan, I'm here with Colton.
Yep, there we go. Starting off great.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I remember the first time we played that intro, I think you were actually opening it, or going to open the show, and then you almost started talking because you thought I was talking.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, hey, what the hell? You only die a little bit on the inside. I die a little bit on the inside. Well, at least more. There's a higher and higher chance that I go to hell whenever we make a certain joke that we're not going to make today. That Dylan exclaimed one time when we were playing Phasmophobia. So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Oh yeah. I almost had that purged from my memory. Thanks for bringing it back for me.
Dude, I hadn't thought about it in a while, and then I don't know why I thought about it. I was like, oh, I haven't said this in a while. I'll bring it up. And then I keep forgetting because I'm crap. So, sucks being 23, nearly 24. You already got freaking some-timers. So, but happy Thanksgiving to everyone that celebrated it. Hope you had way too much food than what you need, because I know I sure as hell did. We at my aunt, because we always do Thanksgiving at my aunt's for my mom's side of the family, and we go over there and I get my first plate of food when we start eating and stuff after the Lions gave us all heart attacks. But we'll get into that in just a minute. I sit down, get done eating that plate of food. I'm like, you know what? That was pretty good. I think I'm gonna go back for more. Just get up, get a second one, sit down. The minute I sat down and look at what I got, I was like, oh Christ, this was a fucking mistake. Dude, I had to power through eating that last plate of food because I sure as hell didn't eat it. Thank God we didn't have dessert for like an hour after that, because I didn't even want to think about food after I got done eating because I felt so fat. But I was happy because I was fat and happy.
There you go.
So. But did you have a good Thanksgiving? What did you do for Thanksgiving?
Well, we did have, just celebrated at my mom's house.
So a home?
Yeah, at home.
Yeah, at home. You can say that. That is allowed.
No, I'm playing. Yeah, just celebrated here. But we didn't do, like, the normal, because my mom hates turkey for whatever reason. I obviously don't mind it. I like turkey, especially on Thanksgiving. But she makes pork loin. She made it pork loin.
Okay.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. And then we went to Brianna's grandma's. There I had a turkey pot pie.
Yeah. We just
that
get like one of them
slapping, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Get one of them Marie calendars and call it a day, or
no, it was homemade.
Oh, actual homemade one? Oh, yeah. Well, Marie Callender's is, too, because I home make it in my oven.
Oh, okay. No, because they celebrated Thanksgiving on Tuesday because they couldn't do Thursday.
Okay.
So they just took the leftover turkey and made turkey pot pie with it, homemade. All right, sweet.
So once again, Dylan's just getting the scraps.
That's all right. I'm fine with that. And it was fucking delicious.
I'm sure it was.
Oh, my God. Dude, and then her grandma made homemade macaroni and cheese. That shit was fucking fire as fuck, dude.
Is it like cheese with a side of mac, or?
I don't even know. Because it was
don't want to know what's in it because I don't want to realize what's in it or know what's in it.
That's the thing. Mac and cheese reheated sucks dick. The mac and cheese, reheated mac and cheese that I got was fucking delicious as fuck.
Most reheated mac and cheese is not great.
Right.
I don't know what it is. It's just
or whatever.
Yeah, you got to add something to it because if not, it just gets dry as like the desert. Yeah, there's certain things that suck reheated. Anything potato wise, if you take home fries because like you get a burger and fries at a restaurant, if you take home the fries, that's a waste because you're just gonna throw them out because they suck reheated unless you go through the time to air fry 17 fucking French fries that you have left. Other than that, it's not worth it. Baked potatoes different because you normally bake them in the microwave, so that's a little different. But anything potato wise sucks. Mac and cheese, it depends. It's just if it's homemade, probably better than like a box of Kraft.
Right.
I'm not that I'm shitting on Kraft. Kraft mac and cheese is delicious. According to a box, I'm a family of 2.5. So, but I think with homemade mac and cheese, it's because there's more soupiness, if that makes sense to it, because there is so much cheese in it, so it's literally like swimming in grease, which is why it's delicious as hell.
Got a nice little grease layer,
yeah. So, but yeah, that was. Go ahead.
There was one of my aunts who has passed away. Used to make oven baked mac and cheese. Which, I mean, that's how you usually make.
Isn't that how you normally make homemade mac?
Right. Yeah, Except, I don't know what.
I made grilled steak.
She put in
what
there.
The fuck?
It was not good at all. I hated the taste of it.
Yeah? Would you put, like, Lowry's in it or something?
I have no fucking maybe. I don't know. It just tasted like ass.
I don't. If you screw up making a box of, not necessarily a box because that's really hard to screw up. But if you screw up making homemade mac and cheese, you shouldn't be allowed to cook in general because that is some of the easiest shit to do. It's really pasta, fucking cheese, maybe in some butter to give it a better consistency in some milk. That's literally fucking it. And if you screw that up, you shouldn't be allowed to make a goddamn hot dog in a microwave. Because you probably put tinfoil in there, and all of a sudden now you got a light show going on in the microwave.
World War III.
Yeah. Happy New Year!
No, but I don't know what it was. Just, it was not good. And then I got worried because her grandma's mac and cheese looked fairly similar, and I'm like, oh no. But I started eating it. Yeah, she must have put like crack or something in there because it was fucking good.
And not the kind, and it is the kind you smoke, or
and it is the kind you smoke, not butt crack.
Grandpa's in the back. You got a cheese grated asshole on there.
I just realized something, Colton. So you know how yesterday I told you that the new term for gas station hot dogs are gas station gaggers?
Mm-hmm.
That's another word for fucking lot lizards. Gas station gaggers.
I guess it could be. I think truck stop gaggers would make more sense, but
truck stop gaggers, truck stop ticklers.
And she's got a little French accent. It's a French tickler. So the day before Thanksgiving every year, weather's changing, so my body's like, you know what? We're gonna cough 24/7. So the day before Thanksgiving every year, my dad's work always has their Thanksgiving party. And the people who own my dad's work, they got this really big-ass pole barn. And so we always have it there, And one tradition we always have is that we always cook bacon. And when I say we always cook bacon, we are fucking professionals when we come to cooking bacon, okay? Because we always have a fire outside. And so we have this contraption that we can raise and lower with a cast iron skillet on it, so you can either put more heat to it or take it away from the heat, right? And we'll just put bacon. We'll usually cook a pound of bacon at a time, and usually by pound 5 to 7, depending on how much thick cut. You're basically deep frying the bacon because there's so much grease in there. And it is so delicious. You have never lived until you've had deep fried bacon. I mean, bacon's good. Don't get me wrong, right? It cooked in a regular pan on the stove, but once you start deep frying that shit, because there's so much other bacon grease in there, dude. You could feel your heart literally slowing down.
Oh, shit, it's coming. Oh, no, we're good.
Yeah, you do not want to do anything fast because you might keel over. Get a little excited. I think the record for the most bacon we've done for that in one day, because it's always just that day, It's either the high 20s or the low 30s in pounds.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, like I said, we're professionals. I mean, there's usually like 25 people-ish, 25-ish people there. So, I mean, that's only like a pound of bacon per person. So, I mean, it's not a lot when you think about it. But when you throw in the other, regular Thanksgiving fixins that we have, it's like, holy shit, we're fat. Good Lord, how have we not died yet?
30 fucking Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't know how much we did this year, but I know after that we've really scaled it back. Like we usually get into the teens, right, of pounds, but very rarely will we eclipse 20 pounds. Just because we'll start cooking bacon at noon, but then we usually eat around 2:15, which so you only get like 2 hours to go balls in on the hors d'oeuvres of bacon, and then you eat. And then after that, you're too fucking full to eat more bacon. But it's like, well, shit, we got all this bacon to cook, and we want to drink beer outside. So fuck it, throw more bacon in there. We'll chip away at it. We'll bring it down. But we always play. There's 2 games we always play. One of them is a dice game. I'll try and explain the rules real quick. So everybody starts with $3 bills, 3 $1 bills. Okay, and you'll start off with 3 dice. And you'll roll the dice. If you roll a 1, 2, or 3 they're not all added together, they're all separate numbers.
Yeah.
If you roll a 1, 2, or 3, that's safe. If you roll a 4, that one of your $1 bills has to go into the pot. If you roll a 5, a dollar bill has to go forward. If you roll a 6, a dollar bill has to go backwards, i.e. forward is to your left, backwards is to your right. So you would give people your dollar bills, or you'd give the pot your dollar bill.
Right. Okay.
So even if you lose, you could be the first roll. You could roll 3 4s, right? And you get rid of all your money. You're never out of the game because other people could either roll 5s or 6s and give you dollar bills, or vice versa. So you're never out. And I think one year, once it starts getting down, and I think we only played it once. I think this year we had 18 people on the table, so 18 times 3. That's how big the pot was.
Damn.
So basically the guy who won looked like he was a male stripper.
Bruh.
When he got done after a Saturday night or something. But I know one year we all, we get done and it comes down to like the last person. Now, if the last person who gets it, gets the dice, right? If there's 2 people left, one person rolls a 4, so their dollar bill goes in the middle. The other guy still has to roll safe. So if they roll a 5 and then it moves forward, then that person has to roll again. And if they roll a 6, then it goes back to the other guy, or it keeps rolling a 5. It keeps going until someone rolls safe. Except if someone rolls a 4, now that dollar bill goes in the middle. All right, everybody pull out your wallets, pull out 3 more dollar bills. We're going to go again because nobody fucking won. I think one year, we had 2 rollovers, so it took us 3 games until someone won. Because you'd get down to the last person and they roll a 4. And it's like, oh, great, all right, fucking someone over there with a wad of 1s, thankfully. They're making change with 5s and shit because no one had brought $9 in 1s with them. So that is fun because there's always one person. They always seem to end up by where the winning person is. I don't know why. Either they win or the person right next to them will always win. I think there's some shenanigans going on with them dice. It's a lot of bogus.
It's a lot
of bogus. But another game that we play, it's an interpretation of a horse racing game. So again, you play with 2 dice, and you add up the dice together, and you play it with 2 dice, a board with 2 through 12, either numbered or whatever. So that would be 11, or 12 cars, I guess you could call it, or no, 11 cars, excuse me. We do it with race cars, and you play again with dollars and quarters. Yeah. And so how it starts is you have a deck of cards from 2 through queen, jack being 11, queen being 12. And then you deal all the cards out and stuff like that. And then the first person who rolls, they roll the DQ cars. There's 4 DQ cards. The first car that gets rolled, say you roll a 7, right? So everyone that has a 7 in their hand has to throw a quarter into the pot, and they lose their 7 card because that's now DQ'd. And then the 7 card goes back to the 25 cents, or in our case, 1 lap down. Okay, and then the next person rolls, and say they roll a 5. Okay, now everyone who has a 5 in their hand, they have to turn in the 5 card and then 50 cents. So now every time someone rolls 50 or rolls a 5, they have to put 50 cents into the pot. And then the same thing for 75 cents and $1. And then whatever, after the 4 cars are DQ'd, whatever you have left in your hand, those are the cars you want to win. One of those cars you want to win. And then, like I said, then you just go roll after that. So you want to, you don't obviously want to roll the DQ cars because then you got to throw money in. But one of the games, a car that was DQ'd was the 6 car, and it was $1. So every time you rolled 6, you'd have to throw $1 into the pot. This poor bastard comes around to him. He rolls a 6. So, you know, we have a lug nut that holds down, because usually a lot of times we play this game outside sometimes. We have a lug nut that'll hold the dollars down. So whenever we always say nuts up, we got to throw $1 in, nuts up. Put the nut down, right? Go back around. Comes this guy again. He rolls a 6. Nuts up, another $1 bill in. We go around, goes back to him again. 3rd time in a row. Rolls another 6. Another fucking $1 in the pot. Nut up. Comes back around. Goes back to him again. Oh, we got a deal for you. You only have to pay 75 cents this time because it's happened. He rolled a 7, which happened to be 75 cents. Oh, you got a 25% discount. 3 quarters goes into the pot. Comes around to him again. Sure as shit. What does he roll? Another fucking 6. Another $1 into the pot. 4 out of 5 rolls. A poor bastard rolled a 6. Dude, we were dying laughing. Like, the odds that you could possibly do that is so astronomically low that you could roll 4 out of 5 times, roll a 6. There are, 11 other fucking numbers you could roll, or 10 other numbers you could roll, and he keeps rolling fucking 6s.
Oh my
what are you doing, man? Come on. You poor yeah, he wasn't having a good day. Not having a good day at all. But it was funny because we were laughing along and stuff like that. Or the other thing, some guy would say, all right, do not roll a 7. Because say we get to the $1 DQ car and someone has like 2 7s in their hand. Well, they don't want a 7 to roll because they'll have to throw the 7s in and then 2 $1 bills because they have 2 7s. And so it's like, all right, don't roll a 7. Okay. And sure as shit, was a person roll a fucking 7, right? Oh, great. Now that person who didn't want that has to throw 2 1s in the pot. It's a lot of fun because there's a lot of razzing that goes on and shit. Right. It's a lot of fun. Not as much fun. Well, this wasn't actually fun. It was funny. So at my aunt's house, we get done eating Thanksgiving dinner and stuff, and then this was before we had dessert. My dad was laying on the carpet, you know, in his food coma. We had the dog with us, my dog Ruger, out there with us, and he was laying down next to my dad, and I'm sitting on the couch next to my grandpa, and Ruger suddenly just gets up and starts walking into like the other room. And then my grandpa heard some noises, or heard something that sounded like the dog was throwing up. He's like, "Hey, your dog's gonna throw up." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, your dog's throwing up." I'm like, "No, he's not." He's like, "I'm telling you right now, your dog is throwing up." I'm like, "Oh shit." So I get up off the couch, I start walking around, and I see my dad. He's laying on the floor laughing because it wasn't Ruger throwing up; it was my dad farting. My grandpa thought my dad farting was Ruger throwing up. My dad just started dying because he's like, "Man, poor Ruger, he's getting fucking blamed for shit he's not even doing."
Thought it was Ruger. You cut out there. You thought it was Ruger farting.
No, he thought it was Ruger throwing up, but it was just my dad farting. It's just my dad farting. Oh man,
the dog's throwing up. No, I'm just ripping ass.
Yeah, no, my dad's over there just on the floor, just letting him ride. So now every time my dad farts, he's like, "Oh, dog's throwing up." Like, Jesus, poor dog. He can't catch a fucking break. He's just minding his own. Gets up, goes to the other room. I don't know why. Probably because he's like a cat, just had to be in the other room or something. My grandpa thinks he's freaking doing the old upchuck. Yeah, meanwhile, my dad's filling his shorts. Just fogging for skeeters. Oh shit. So I know. I think. Shit. So let's talk about this. The end to this Lions game, eh?
Oh, dude.
Did you watch the end at all, or no?
I didn't get to watch the second half. I watched the first half, and I'm glad I only watched the first half.
I would say even in the first half, the Lions were not all that good.
I thought the defense was pretty dominant.
Yeah, the defense was good, but the offense, they were making some mistakes that they were able to get away with because they were playing the Bears.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
I mean, when the Bears don't get a fucking first down in the entire first half until the very end of it, that's bad.
Well, so I do have to say that even though every year, I don't know how, every fucking year, the Bears may have like the shittiest offense known to fucking man. Every fucking year, their defense is really good for no fucking reason.
Yeah, I agree. They usually always have a pretty good defense.
So, I mean, obviously they need to work on their offense game a little bit. Because, I mean, even though they have, like, weapons, I mean, I don't think Caleb Williams is necessarily, like, god-awful, but he's not really up to par yet. So
I agree.
I mean,
well, this is only his rookie season.
Right,
so
right.
You can't imagine them. You can't expect him to go in there and start slinging the pigskin like Tom Brady.
I mean, look at Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, but he's still not slinging the pigskin like Tom Brady.
Right.
You know, you can't. And I think some players just for whatever reason either fit into the system that said team has a lot better, or they just grasp it a lot better, or can adapt a lot quicker. Where other guys, like, they might be great quarterbacks, but they might not fit in the system, or they need more time to develop into that system. Or like I said, sometimes a player and a team just, they can't work because of how the quarterback is and how the coach wants to run the system. They just don't mesh well.
Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. Oh, sorry.
Well, the Jets are just bad. But with the end of the Lions, so like at the end of the first half, it was what, 16-0 or something like that.
Yep.
And then we watched another great tradition for Thanksgiving is the Lions always have a shitty halftime show, on Thanksgiving. So we get through that joke of a halftime show, right? And I think the Bears got the ball. Yeah, the Bears got the ball first, and they went down. I think they scored a touchdown on their first drive, didn't they? In the second half, I want to say. But and so then it was like,
so.
And it was like, so then it was 16-7, right? Well, eventually it did get, Detroit did score another touchdown on one of their drives to make it 23 to whatever it was. But I can tell you right now, the turning point of the entire game was, I want to say it was at the end of the second quarter. I think it was Jahmyr Gibbs had the ball, was 2 yards from the end zone, and then fumbled the ball.
Not his fault, by the way.
But still, fumbled the ball.
Yeah.
Fumbled the ball. From that point forward, that's when the game switched to being the Bears more than the Lions. Because that should have been another 7 points for the Lions right there. Because, okay, even if he goes down, it would have been first and goal at the 2-yard line or whatever. 3-yard line. So that was a turning point of the game right there. And from that point on, it was definitely the Bears were rolling and the Lions looked like they were still in the locker room. Because, I mean, even the defense started sucking ass. Playing terrible.
I mean, we did. So I'm not trying to make excuses, but.
Sounds like you're making excuses.
So Jahmyr Gibbs got hit in the, full on in the arm with a ceramic helmet, which it happens to a lot of players where they'll get hit, right in the arm, and it just pops the ball out.
Right, but it's still a fumble on his.
Yeah.
It's still a fumble.
But. I did not know this, but 9 of our starting defensive guys are all out. You know where they are? They are right now? Right on injured reserve.
Mm-hmm.
Because they either have a torn ACL, which Malcolm Rodriguez does, so he's out for the rest of the season. Alex Anzalone had a broken forearm, and he's out for another 4 to 6 weeks or something like that.
Or you could go hardcore and break your fucking leg in half, like some
Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, some rushers
broke his leg on his own teammate's leg.
Yeah, damn.
Who else? Ife Melfanu, who's a safety, which, I mean, we're pretty good in the safety department right now with Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph, but if he's out for a torn pectoral, I think, muscle. There's another guy that had either a strained or torn. I can't remember. Eric Rickshaw Jr. is out. Yeah, it's just miserable.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we did all... I mean, at least we fucking won, but damn.
Well, and so when we get down to the second half of the fourth quarter, Detroit has to punt the ball away. And now Chicago's got it. and I think they still had all 3 of their timeouts or something like that. They start plugging their way down the field. Okay, at this point it's 23-20. So at the very least, the Bears just have to kick a field goal to at least send it to overtime. Right? Ideally, you'd like a touchdown because you'd probably win the game with how little time would be on the clock. But at the very least, you could kick a field goal and take it to OT.
Right.
The Bears use one of their timeouts. They use their second one. They have one timeout left, and at this point, you have to start throwing the ball because obviously an incomplete pass would stop the clock. If you catch it, if you're down the sticks, you could at least move the first down marker, and then you run out of bounds. Obviously, stops the clock. So they start throwing the ball, and they don't really get any success off of it. And we get down to the penultimate play. It's a pass, doesn't get anywhere, and there's like 38 seconds on the clock. Clock keeps running. Okay, now I'm like, okay, I think it was like second down at this point. So at the very least, you could either quick throw another play. No, it must have been a run play because the clock didn't stop. Whatever it was. So 38 seconds, clock's running, right?
Yeah.
And Caleb Williams is signaling like he wants to run a play, which at this point is like 38 seconds. You have one timeout left. Yeah, you should have enough time to quick run another play. Or at the very least, you can't get shit off. You could at least just snap it and spike the ball and stop the clock that way. Well, he wastes about 20 seconds. I don't know what he was doing. Like, this should have been something at this point, knowing that, okay, we ran the ball, there's 38 seconds left, just automatically getting to some sort of a passing formation, right? Because we got to throw the ball. It's the only way we're going to get anywhere. We have to throw the ball.
Right.
And they waste like 20 seconds, like they're still like in a huddle, but they're spread out over 15, 20 yards apart because they don't have time for a fucking huddle, okay? Mind you, they still have one timeout left. And eventually, and then when they get into formation to actually like hike the ball, they waste another like 10 seconds before he even hikes the ball. Like he's screaming out more plays. It's like, no, just hike the fucking ball. You don't have time for this shit, right?
What down was it? What down was it?
I think it was second down. So like he could have spiked the ball and been fine.
Oh my god, dude! Fucking yeah.
So eventually they hike the ball with 6 seconds left, right? And he airs one out downfield to I don't know who it was, but it hits the ground just after the clock hit 0. So game's over because that was the last play. And at the time it was like, okay, what was the clock? Now it was like, did the ball hit the ground before the clock hit 0? Because like nobody started celebrating because it was like it happened so quick. It was like, all right, we need to go and make sure. And then CBS played and the clock hit 0 about, I don't know, in real life, probably 0.2 of a second before the ball hit the ground. I mean, it was close before the ball hit the ground. But game was over because the clock was at 0. And even at the house, we were like, why didn't the Bears call their timeout? They had one timeout left. Why didn't they call it? We just couldn't fathom it. And obviously the Bears owners couldn't either because they fired Matt Eberflus or Eberflus.
Yeah.
On Friday, like, damn. Like, yeah, he should. That's a fireable offense right there. You had a chance to, and well, you're 4-7 anyways, but you had a chance to win that game, or at the very least tie it and send it to overtime. You had one timeout left,
and you didn't
38 seconds on the clock. You burned up 38 seconds and threw a pass that was incomplete. But it took you 38 fucking seconds to do that. That is about 34 seconds too fucking long. It should not take that long. So use your time out.
I'm gonna reiterate. Tom Brady said that the NFL now is full of playbook quarterbacks, so they have to be told what to do, when to do it, how to do it, right? And that's how they practice and stuff.
Well, it's how it's done in college.
Whereas Tom Brady was like, you know, I was in a college program where they taught like how to be a quarterback,
right?
Not how to be a playbook player.
Tom Brady went to Michigan before this playbook quarterback style came into effect, really.
Yeah.
Basically, that started happening when Saban went to Alabama. When the playbook quarterback shit started to happen.
But you can see the big difference. Like, Jared Goff is a playbook quarterback.
Well, okay, just take it Matthew Stafford, right?
Yeah.
When Stafford was playing for the Lions, if it was a 2-minute drill, you just let Stafford go. You don't need to tell him plays. He knows what to do, right?
So,
I mean, I get with Caleb Williams, he's a rookie. You don't really want him running it because this is only his 11th game or 12th game or whatever in the NFL.
At the same time, I think it would have been a very good thing to do if Caleb Williams did take over and was like, I'm gonna spike this fucking ball instead, so we actually have time to come up with a game plan instead of listening to my fucking coach.
Right. Well, quarterbacks can also call timeouts. So if he's thinking that this is taking too long, he could just call a timeout. You had one left. But like you said, if it's still taking too long, which it took about 30 fucking seconds too long, just spike the ball. You had another down. I think it was only second down. So you still had a down to come up with a play, throw another pass, and then if it doesn't get anywhere, now you can kick a field goal. You had time. It's unfathomable that this kind of piss poor clock management happened in the NFL. Like, that is some of the worst clock management that I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen some bad clock management because I've seen Mike McCarthy coach a team.
Damn. Watcha. No, but Matt Eberfluss was asked, "Hey, do you think your job is in jeopardy after this game?" Or I think that's what was asked or whatever. And he's like, No, I don't think it is. I think I'll keep my job here and stuff. And then literally the next day, he got fired. Big oops.
Yeah, big oops. And to be honest, the Lions, if you watch them how they played in the second half, the Lions had no business in winning that game. No business winning that game. Because they played like utter ass in the second half.
I think it was. I think both teams didn't play as good as what they would. I mean, the Bears don't play good at all. But
no,
if you take a look, both teams had 3 games within the last 2 weeks. That's exhausting.
Right? Yeah, I don't disagree, but it was fair for both.
Yeah, it was. Both teams had to do it.
Yeah, it's not like the Lions just came off an off week or vice versa. The Bears just came off an off week or something.
Right.
It was fair for both teams. That's where I still believe that teams that play on Thanksgiving should have an off week, should have their off week, whatever the week would be before Thanksgiving. It's usually week 11. I think this was week 12, right? Yeah. So week 11 would be their bye week. And you can make the argument, what about other Thursday night game? But the reason why I say that is because by this point, week 11, they already have played 10 straight weeks of football. Right? Now, I don't know what the time frame of when the NFL gives bye weeks. I know it starts at week 4 or after week 4, and I think it goes until week 12 or 13 for bye weeks. But it's I feel like for that, because it's a nationally broadcasted game, all 3 games are, right? Because there's 3 of them now. All 3 games are nationally broadcasted. And it, to me, the worst thing you want is shitty football when everyone can sit in front of the TV and watch the same game. Exactly. That's the worst thing you can have is shitty football. Because then anybody who's a casual, they won't watch anything other than the Super Bowl because, they kind of have to because it's the only thing on TV. So that's why I feel like for Thanksgiving, because it's such a big deal, Thanksgiving Day, that week 11 or whatever week it is, the week before Thanksgiving should be the teams' bye weeks. All 6 teams. That should be their bye weeks. I don't know how many teams take a bye week at a time. I don't know what that rate, how many go at a time. But I just feel like it should be like that. And plus, I personally think 3 games on Thanksgiving is ridiculous. I know why they did it, because NBC's like, we don't have a Thanksgiving game. We want a Thanksgiving game. It's not fair. Piss and moan and whatever. So now they got a fucking primetime game at 8 o'clock, which was, I don't know who even fucking played because I didn't bother watching it, right? Because
it was Green Bay and Miami, I think.
Okay, who won that game? Probably should have been Green Bay. Green Bay should win that game, yeah.
30-17.
Yeah. So, but it's even starting a game at 8 o'clock, 8:20 on Thanksgiving, that's late as hell.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, Monday Night Football, yes, you could argue that game starting at 8 o'clock is late, but that's always been that for Monday Night Football, is an 8 o'clock game time, right? And the reason they started at 8 is because it's a fucking work day. People come home from work, they get home at 5:30, 6 o'clock or whatever, they make dinner, and then by the time they get done doing dinner, maybe laundry, whatever they got to do, they sit down in front of the TV at 8 o'clock, boom, football's on. So it makes sense at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock on Thanksgiving, people are driving home from wherever they're going at 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock. So they're going to be, they might leave like right after the Cowboys' game, whoever they fucking play, and then they're driving during the first half of the third game. And so no one gets invested into it because they're driving home at that time.
Right.
Like I think me and my dad left because we took two cars. It doesn't matter. Me and my dad left after the third quarter of Cowboys and Giants is when we left. And so probably by the time we got home, the fourth quarter was probably just getting wrapped up or most of the way done because it's a half hour from there to our house. But then like I never thought about putting on Green Bay and whoever the fuck Dolphins. I never thought about doing that. Why? I don't care. It's no, it's too fucking late. I got other shit to do. So I think they doing it because NBC pissed and moaned that they didn't have one, and plus it brings in more money from the NFL. But Thanksgiving should still just be a Lions and a Cowboys home games. That's all it should be. Just them two fucking games. Because a lot of times the third game is always shitty ass teams. It's never like I mean, imagine if it was Chiefs and Ravens. Now we're fucking talking. But no, it's Green Bay and Miami. Two teams who have zero fucking chance of making a deep run in the playoffs. And if you're in Miami, you probably have zero chance of even making said fucking playoffs.
I don't know, Colton. The Packers are 9-3 right now.
They're not going to make a deep run in the playoffs. They're not going to go to the NFC Championship game.
Oh, absolutely not.
That's what I mean by deep run. They're not making a deep run in the playoffs. And Miami is not making the fucking playoffs. If they do, it's because, well, they are probably in a shitty division, so they might have a chance, actually.
Yeah, except for the Bills.
Yeah, so, but...
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, you're not making
Patriots. Yeah,
you're right. You're not making the fucking playoffs because you're not going to be good enough for a wild card.
You ain't going to be good enough to beat the Bills either.
No. But since we're talking about football, Amazon had their Friday because obviously they normally do Thursday night football, but they couldn't this year, so they did Black Friday football, or whatever, and it was Chiefs and Raiders. And once again, the Chiefs fucking get by the skin of their teeth. Beating the Raiders by what, 2 or something?
Let's go ahead and take a look. Oh yeah, by 2, 17.
Yeah, because I remember 19-17 because the Raiders had a chance to win the game at the end with a field goal. And I guess what had happened, so what happened is they were on the last, Raiders were going to run one more play because of how much, I think there was like 16 seconds left on the clock or something. They were actually doing clock management. And they were going to run one more play and then hopefully gain some more yardage for their kicker and then kick a game-winning field goal at the end of the game. But what had happened is the quarterback, I guess, started clapping, which is the sign for the center to hike the ball. And so the quarterback clapped too early. And so then it ended up going over his head because he wasn't expecting it. And then the Chiefs recovered the ball because, of course, they did, effectively ending the game. But then, I don't know if this is true. I just saw this today. The head coach for the Raiders is Antonio Pierce.
Yeah.
Okay. He says that part of the reason that the Chiefs were so easily able to recover the fumble is because a lot of their players claim to have heard a whistle from a referee, which obviously would have stopped play. And so then they stopped playing because they heard a whistle. I don't know if that's true or not because I didn't watch the game because I don't have Amazon Prime and also I don't give a fuck. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. I mean, obviously the NFL can't go in and change the game because you don't know, okay, well, how do you know the Raiders were for sure going to make the field goal? Who knows? Maybe on that next play they would have thrown a pick. You don't, so they're not going to go and change it because you don't know. And then you're going to open Pandora's box to a lot of shit. Because then you could have the thing of, okay, well, you should give the Lions the extra win last year for Decker reporting, which then would have gave the Lions home field advantage against the 49ers. So you can't change it like that. But once again, the Raiders, who were 2-9 going into the game, and the Chiefs, who were 10-1, fucking won by less than one score.
Right.
Like, what are we doing, guys? Come on. You're way too good to be barely beating fucking shitty teams. You barely beat the Broncos because you blocked the field goal at the end of the game. You barely beat the fucking Raiders here because you happened to recover a fumble because the Raiders raided. You lost to the Bills of good because, as you should, because you're shit. You barely beat the fucking Panthers. You beat them by 3. Like, either they are the king at sandbagging or they've got some serious issues going on.
They suck ass.
I know. Well, I know they do.
But I just want to go over something.
You want to go over the worst pass interference call in the history of the NFL?
No, there's a movie called Holiday Touchdown: A Chief's Love Story.
Oh yeah, that just came out today on Hallmark Channel or something like that.
I want to kill. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? Yeah, exactly. Now it's nothing against the cast or anything, because I'm sure they'll be pretty average, but
well, it's a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, exactly. They'll be all right. But
they ain't gonna be winning no fucking awards.
But what the fuck? Why do I need a football love story?
Taylor Swift.
Chiefs superfan Elena tries to win Fan of the Year award as a Christmas gift for her family. She's the superfan! Why does her family fucking care? Falling in love with someone in the Chiefs front office along the way. Jesus Christ. I can't make this shit up. I wish I could. I fucking wish I could.
It's the Taylor Swift effect. It's the Taylor Swift effect. Okay, because prior to Taylor Swift dating Travis Kelce, okay, you would see Patrick Mahomes in like State Farm commercials, but he'd been in State Farm commercials for years at this point, right? You'd see him in some Subway commercials and shit like that. But that was basically it. Now they still have the State Farm commercials, which they're doing more of. Now they have Andy Reid in them. Andy Reid did a fucking Snickers commercial. And then Travis Kelce did a fucking Pfizer commercial about getting the COVID shot and the flu shot. And then they're in more of this shit and more of that shit. Now you can't get fucking away from it. And now they got a fucking movie about the Chiefs. I'm telling you, it's the Taylor Swift effect. As people are all in, these Swifties who don't understand what the term pigskin even means, are all crazy about the Chiefs because the worst singer in the history of music ever happens to be dating a average tight end.
Okay, hold on. Don't. Taylor Swift is not the worst singer ever. That goes to Montel Fish, but
oh, does he like fish sticks?
No.
Oh.
Something about you, girl. Look it up. Fucking look it up, dude.
I know who he is.
Yeah, it's fucking tragic, all right?
Hey, Dylan, have you ever heard of hyperbole?
No, but that doesn't matter. Actually, I think he did actually try to sing.
Who?
Montel Fish.
Oh, I don't care. But that's the problem. And then now it's like I'm personally just completely Kansas City chiefed out. I'm so over it. Because it's fucking everywhere. It's like AIDS in the 80s. It's an epidemic. It's everywhere. It's out of control.
The issue I've had with the Chiefs is not because they are successful, if you could call it that.
You can't argue that they're not as successful now. I mean, they've won 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls.
Right. But the issue is that they are just getting coddled by the NFL. They're getting like props for doing absolutely the bare minimum to win their games, and it's fucking annoying. Oh, the Chiefs are so good this year. They're winning almost all their games. They've only lost one.
Yeah, you lost. The game you lost was actually to a good team.
Yeah, and they actually played their heart outs there. Like, wow. So either they're sandbagging the fuck out of all of us, or they actually are just not that good.
That's why I think they're just great sandbaggers. Because I mean, how else could you? I don't believe that they could just drop off like that so much. I mean, it's just I mean, if you look at last year they weren't great. Like partway through the season, there was like, shit, are we even going to be able to get through the wild card game? And then thankfully they're in a terrible division. So, I mean, they had no problem making the playoffs, but it's like last year their defense was terrible. Yeah. And now this year it's like they can barely get out of their own fucking way. And like it's just frustrating because I mean, if they would be killing teams like the Raiders, like the Broncos, like the Panthers by 20, 30 points, we wouldn't even be talking about them because it'd be like, yeah, it's expected. But they're barely they beat the Raiders by 2. They only beat the Broncos because they blocked a field goal, which credit to their defense at that time. They blocked a field goal. They beat the fucking Panthers by 3. So it's like you're barely winning these games. And with how frequently they're barely winning these games, I don't think they're sandbagging.
Right.
Because I understand if you sandbag a little bit, like, we don't want to, do big aggressive plays like that because we don't want to get our guys hurt, right? But if you're behind against the fucking Panthers, you're not going to be sandbagging. You're like, holy shit, we cannot lose to the fucking Panthers. That's the part that's frustrating. And like you said, they're always coddled and shit because it's like, oh my God. They get the penalties like the Bears or like the Lions did, or they get the benefit of penalties like the Bears did on the Lions when the Lions had that horrible pass interference called on them. I don't know if you saw it. It was 4th down. It was 4th down for the Bears at the end of the game, right? This was before the clusterfuck with the clock management. 4th down at the end of the game, okay? And Caleb Williams throws a ball, and it's nowhere near the receiver, right? And actually, the Lions player, I don't know who it was, almost caught the ball. It hit his fingers. He almost caught it. Almost picked it off. And all of a sudden, boom, here comes a flag in. It's like, all right, what's the flag for, right? And they say pass interference. Literally, the pass interference was the Bears guy tried to stop and turn, and the Lions guy was right there. And that was pass interference.
Oh, my God.
But even if the Bears guy would have stopped, it was uncatchable because the Lions player was closer to the ball and he couldn't even catch it. It was a terrible. And now because of that, it's a fresh set of downs. Oh, and it was like a 25-yard pass, and the NFL is spotted the foul, so the Bears just got 25 free yards. It was a horrible fucking call. So like once again, the NFL fucking over the Lions, at least trying to by giving them shitty calls. I mean, it was a terrible call. Terrible call. I don't know how Dan Campbell didn't freaking rip a referee in half. It was unbelievable. I about lost my shit too. It was terrible. I was like, if we lose the game because of that, oh my God, will there be a shitstorm? I think for the NFL's sake, they're glad that the Bears did what they did because no one's talking about that bad pass interference call. They're talking about the Bears doing what they did at the end of the game. Because if that would have been the reason the Lions lost, oh boy. Oh boy, that would have not been good. Not been good. So, and a couple things here before we do our banger of the week. So 2 weeks ago, during the week I get an email from UPS, and I always get emails from UPS like if I have a package coming, like, oh, your package is expected to be delivered on whatever day, right? I get an email saying you'll have your package is expected to be delivered on Friday, whatever day it was Friday. I'm like, I didn't order anything. I'm like, what do you mean package? And I'm like, is it something? Because I have some stuff on auto ship for my dog Ruger from Chewy. I'm like, did something auto ship and I just missed the email? And I go back and look through my credit card, my debit card, and nothing. No such orders. No, nothing. And I'm like, this is kind of weird. Why am I getting a package? I didn't buy anything. What am I getting a package from? And it was from a company called Music Today 2, like Roman numeral 2, LLC. And so I look it up, and it's a legitimate company. And they send out, like, music stuff. And I'm like, I didn't buy tickets to a concert or anything. So I wouldn't be expecting any type of, like, VIP shit. So now I'm like, what did I fucking order? Or what is getting sent to me? I'm like, did someone else buy something for me? And because of it has my name on the shipping label, that's why UPS sends me an email.
Right.
So Friday comes along, right? Package comes, and it's in this it's in just a plain cardboard box. It has nothing on it except the label. And I take the box and I shake it. and it kind of made like a little bit, not like a rattle noise, but you could kind of hear something like moving back and forth.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, this is going to be interesting. So I take a knife, I cut open the sides, I open it up, and inside of it was a NASCAR diecast that I bought about 7 months ago that finally came in. And I totally forgot how I bought it because it was from 7 months ago. And it came in, I was like, oh, Christ, I forgot I bought this motherfucker. I'm like, now everything's great. I thought I was getting like a fucking Unabomber type shit. About to open it up, and then my insides are going to be painting the walls. Didn't know what the hell it was. So, yeah, I bought a diecast because every time I go to a NASCAR race, I always buy a diecast. Well, I haven't gone to NASCAR races in the last couple of years, but there's still been a couple diecasts that I've bought online. But the problem is a lot of times, like when a diecast comes out, in this case, it was a Kyle Larson diecast. You know, Hendrick Motorsports will put out the diecast, the rendering for it, and then it'll say it ships in early whenever, right? And in this case, it must have said ships in early December or expected in early December or November or something like that. Well, like I said, I bought it in like May. Excuse me. Or something like that. Yeah, in May or April or May or whatever. And so there's no way in hell I'm going to remember that all the way through November when I get a random-ass email from UPS saying, your package is expected to be delivered on Friday. I'm like, what fucking package? I didn't buy nothing. Yeah, you did, dumbass. You bought it 7 months ago. You just, it took this long for it to be made by a sweatshop in China, shipped overseas, and finally show up at your front door. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so I thought I was going to be getting some Unabomber type shit, because I'm like, what the fuck? And buy nothing. But if you did buy something and you, depending on what you bought, you might want to turn it back or bring it back to the store. So if you had bought, if you live in Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Florida, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Missouri, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Virginia, Washington, and Wisconsin, or in the Canadian provinces of Alberta, British Columbia, Calgary, Saskatchewan, or Ontario, you might want to take your cucumbers back to the store because they are being recalled for salmonella concerns.
Uh-oh.
So if you are also a lesbian out there, you might not want to put that inside your bat cave. Just because the next thing you know, it already smells like fish, and now you got salmonella down there, and now it's like, oh, shit. Yeah, I just wanted to bring that. Yeah, if you're using a cucumber, and if you're using it for other than regular cucumber reasons, you might want to not use that for a little while. Okay, how long do you think is the average cucumber, Dylan?
How long?
Yeah.
I'd say about 10 inches.
Okay, the average cucumber, a typical English type cucumber, which is like what you would see in the store for like not like to make pickles or anything, because those are usually 12 to 6 inches long. A normal cucumber that you would buy at the store is 12 to 14 inches in length.
12
Could
to
you
13 inches in length?
Yeah, can you imagine shoving 13 inches of that inside of you? How do you have that much room? Like, is it going down one of your ovaries tracks? Because there's no way the fucking womb is that big for a 13-inch piss missile to be going in and out like that. My God. I just can't fathom that. Like, I guess if you're in a pinch, anything could be a dildo if you're a woman enough.
Yeah, or man enough.
Well, man enough. Yeah, I don't know what you're feeling like today. But yeah, if you live in one of those, 30 out of the 50 states or 4 out of 17 or however many fucking Canadian provinces there are, or 5 Canadian provinces, might want to try to do the no dick December and don't put anything inside your back door or inside your front door for a little while. That or don't buy cucumbers from the company Sunfed because they are feeding you some chicken disease.
Chicken disease.
So, all right, Dylan, what is your banger of the week?
Banger of the week is Fox on the Run by Sweet.
What kind of band is that?
It's from like the 70s or 80s.
Oh, so it's an old ass song.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a whole old ass song, but
Fox on the road.
Oh, I might have heard this song with something.
You know that song. It's a good song.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that song before. My song that I chose is once again part of the I guess you'd call it the modern rock era. I guess you'd call it that. It's by a band called Skillet, which is not one you hear on the radio too often. The song's called Monster.
Oh, that's a great song.
That is a fantabulous song. Fantabulous song. Yeah, it's not.
I feel like a monster.
Yeah, it's not to the point where it's like Slipknot, where it's like screamo rock, but it is still it's. I would say Skillet's kind of like similar to Disturbed in the type of hard rock that they play.
Have you listened to Feel Invincible? That's a good song too.
Maybe it might have came around in my YouTube music algorithm. I'm not sure.
Jesus Christ!
What?
Damn!
See a cross fall from the sky? What?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm looking at like all their albums and stuff. Dude, I didn't know that I think their earliest album was 2006.
Oh, so they've been around a block for a while.
Yeah, like holy shit, dude.
It only
album, which is the one that has,
Monster, yeah.
Is came out in 2009.
Damn. It's always weird how some bands they are around for a long time, but they just never hit it. And then some bands for instance, I'm going to say for Disturbed, right? Their first album, The Sickness, fucking banging, right? And from that point on, they were mainstream. But then other bands, they just seem to not be able to do it. It's weird how that happens.
Nope, they've been around for quite some time. 1996.
Skillet?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's just weird how some bands can just take off right away and other ones can be around for 30 years and they still only tour as openers. You know what I mean?
13 years.
They're never headliners.
Yeah, 13 years and they finally got on the map.
Yeah, part of it is down to the style of music they play. If you are in the more screamo type stuff, you're not going to be played on the radio because the radio does not play that type of stuff.
They have 3 good songs on there. I haven't listened to the full album, but Hero, Monster, and Awaken Alive, those are fucking bangers, dude.
Yeah. Like I said, Monster is a good one. I feel like a monster. Yeah.
I got so into that fucking song and Animal I Become. I looked up mashes of it because they sound pretty similar or close to, Animal, and they have the similar topic of, becoming a something. Mm-hmm. But I looked up a blend of it, or where they're mashing. There's one good iteration of it, and there's only one good iteration where it was okay, this actually sounds fucking banger, but not like ass,
How? So it actually sounds banging, but not like ass.
Exactly. Because some blended songs just sound like fucking garbage.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I would say most remix songs I don't really care for. Because it's I think, well, it goes back to, however I hear a song the first time is most likely going to be the way I prefer that song to be played. Right? So if I hear a cover of a song before I hear the original version of the song, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to prefer the cover over the original. Yeah. Now, that's not always true, and there are some singers out there or some bands out there that are great at covers, right? It doesn't matter, Disturbed, for instance, right? Every cover song that they do, fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
But then there's other ones out there that's don't ever do a cover, please, because you guys suck ass. Please, Christ, no. Stick to your own shit. Because for instance, Metallica did a cover of Bob Seger's song. What is the exact name of the song? I can't remember. Against the Wind. Turn the Page. They covered Bob Seger's song "Turn the Page," and if you've heard "Turn the Page," it is not at all similar to how Metallica is, right, in their discography or whatever you want to call it. And so when Metallica did it, it's not. I don't really care for it because it's like it's not Metallica and the thing that you think Metallica is, and it's like it's not at all Bob Seger because you have Metallica trying to sing a Bob Seger song, and you're trying to shoehorn a Bob Seger song into being or sounding like Metallica, and it just don't work. It's like Barney going out there and trying to rap like Eminem. Like, no, that's not at all. No. Which, oh no, I mean, at the other hand, he probably could because he's always had drugs in the tail, but, yeah, some bands can do covers and other ones, it's like, just stick to your own stuff. Like, don't do album fillers, all right? Just maybe make each song like 30 seconds longer and then just do 5 instead of 6 songs on the album.
So, all right, so I do have to agree with you on this, where, like, some people just should not make covers of certain songs. One of those people is Justin Bieber. He made a cover of Fast Car, and it is not, like, it sounds too fucking poppy, obviously, because it's Justin Bieber. But I was like, this is not good. Like, there are, like, don't get me wrong, not really a fan of Justin Bieber, like, hardly at all. But there are, I can count on one hand, 3 songs that I don't mind. Actually, 2. Ghost by Justin Bieber, and fucking, he's featured on a song. And I didn't know he's featured.
Oh.
DJ Snake's Let Me Love You. Love
Yeah.
that song. That's a good song, too.
I thought you were going to say,
baby. No, hell no. Hell no. But, yeah, he did a cover of Fast Car in 2017, and I was like, because it's like, oh, okay, maybe I'll listen to it, whatever, and see if it's good. No, it is not good. It is not good. And then Luke Combs
did a good cover of it.
I was like, oh shit, this is banging.
Yeah, he did a good cover. Well, I think at the Grammys?
Yes. No, CMA Awards.
CMAs? Yeah, CMA Awards. He had... Who's the original singer of Fast Cars?
Tracy...
I knew it's like Tracy...
It starts with a W. I think.
I want to say Atwood.
Tracy Chapman.
Chapman, okay. I was going to say Atwood, but I know that's not right, because I'm like, no, that's Casey Atwood.
I don't know why, but I kept thinking Walker. Tracy Walker.
I mean, it works. It could work.
But yeah, they did a great job.
Yeah. And if you just listen to he did a good job because how her style is not too far off of what Luke Combs' style, because Luke Combs doesn't do the bro country, as I like to call it. His style is not that country. It's not that bro country. Like bro country is like Luke Bryan, Jason Aldean. That's bro country to me, where it's all kind of hip hoppy country. All about making love in my truck or whatever shit like that. It's like, no, I don't care for
beer,
that. Yeah,
talking to God and fucking in trucks.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what where Luke Combs is not. He still kind of has the outlawishness of country, which outlaws would be like your Waylon Jennings, your Hank Williams Jr.'s, your Johnny Cash, your David Allan Coe, your Willie Nelson. That he still has that style in him. I mean, it's not to the point where I still don't listen to country because I cannot stand new country, current country music. But if his stuff, like if I listen to Hank Williams Jr. radio or Waylon Jennings radio, and one of his songs come on, most likely I'm not gonna skip it. Because it's not bullshit country.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, Skillet by Monster, great song. Whatever yours was, Run with the Fox or
Fox on the Run.
Fox on the Run by Sweet. You can listen to both of those songs or all of our Banger of the Weeks in our Banger of the Week playlist, which is in the description of every podcast.
Boom. Boom. Boom.
Thank you for listening to this first part of this episode of the Functional Idiots podcast. Part 2 will be out in just a couple days. And until then, don't be dumb.